Hello and welcome to another Love Island live chat from radiotimes.com. I'm Susanna Lazarus.
And I'm Ellie Harrison.
And we're here to talk about a dramatic 24 hours in the Love Island villa. Or we should really say villas, because half of our contestants have moved to Casa Amor. The girls have been joined by 6 new boys. The boys have been joined by 6 new girls, and mayhem has ensued. I think that would be right, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's about correct to say. I mean, just as last year, the producers decided to introduce this new secret villa to really test the original relationships on the island. And so far, I mean, it's working just like clockwork. The boys' heads are definitely turning in Casa Amor.
What I loved was Alex's, oh, maybe I'm going fishing. Maybe it's a boys' day out. It's like, Alex, did you not watch Love Island last year? Obviously, this is Casa Amor. The girls were onto it. They knew exactly what was happening. And I think they had that moment where they were like, oh no, the boys have left us. But a split second later, they realised that that meant that they were going to get 6 new boys coming in to entertain them.
Exactly, and lots of screaming ensued.
So much screaming.
Could be heard from Casa Amor, I bet.
But which couples do you think are really at risk here?
So sadly, it looks like Josh's head is already turning. So if we just remember, Georgia's back in the original villa, and she's very much, staying loyal to him. She said to Danny, I want to stay with him. And Josh is now in the new villa with Kaz, who has a real liking to Georgia, funnily enough. But yeah, he's kind of already said to her, I'm interested in you. And there's been shots of him in the beach hut of Casa Amor saying, my melon is going, I think, which means me nut is spun, i.e. my head's all over the place.
My nut is spun.
Yeah, as Danny said earlier on in the series, and I've never forgotten. Sadly, I think his head's turned quite easily, and Georgia's got no idea back in the original villa.
And that was quite sadly juxtaposed with actually someone showing a real interest in Georgia. Jordan came up to him. God, that would be hard to say, Jordan and Georgia. Jordan came up to her and said, I named 3 people, but you're actually my top person. What do you think? And she was like, no, I'm staying loyal to Josh. I like Josh. Whereas, obviously, as viewers, we're seeing both situations, and it cuts to Josh having a great old chat. And actually, in his defence, there does seem like there's some real chemistry between him and Kaz. It's not like an Alex and Ellie situation where it feels forced. Yeah. I can actually see it. But I also really like Georgia. And actually, I don't think Josh is trying to, he's not being muggy.
I don't think so either.
He would genuinely tell her if she was there to tell, but he can't tell her.
Yeah, that's the point, because he says that, doesn't he? He says, I wish I could tell her, that's what I would do, but we're here, she's there. There's no way of doing it. What other couples might be at risk?
Well, I think it's
which other heads are turning? Yeah,
well, I do think it's interesting that last we saw of Adam, he was swearing loyalty to Zara, looking so down in the mouth. People saying, well, Adam, if you're that upset, just leave. And obviously he didn't leave. And lo and behold, he's already showing interest in another girl, Daryl, the kind of heavily tattooed girl who's walked in. And she sort of had her eye on him from the start. They share a bed together. And he does his usual, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't attracted to her.
Yeah, no, completely. And yeah, it's a shame, because I think Zara is already ancient history in his mind, even though she's left the villa saying, I'm going to wait for him. So I guess she'll be watching tonight and
pining.
Pining and hopefully moving on.
Yes, I really hope so, and hopefully not with Eyal or another, or Charlie. Like in the past, the ex and Love Islanders have got together. I hope she just sort of leaves it behind. But another couple who looks like, we've had quite a kind of sunny, quite sweet period between Sam Bird and Samira Mighty, the Mighty Bird. Yeah. But it hasn't really taken much for him to show interest in other girls, has it?
No, so Sam's already got a bit of a shine for Ellie Jones, that's right.
And who is Ellie Jones?
So Ellie Jones is Jack Fincham's ex-girlfriend who's come in. So I'm kind of pleased in a way that Sam's taken a bit of a liking to her, because it means that hopefully she'll stay away from Dan and Jackie, our favourite couple ever. But also it's a shame for Samira, who obviously is back in the original villa and not actually having much luck. I think she was the only girl not to be named in the top 3.
Which I just don't get.
Yeah, of the new boys that came in, which I don't get at all. She's by far the most eligible. She's so down to earth, goofy, gorgeous.
Yeah, it baffles me every time new boys come in. And it also makes me quite sad, because it's quite a public thing to say, oh, I quite fancy so-and-so, and then them not really saying your name in return.
Yeah, I know, it's that public rejection, isn't it, that Love Island's so famous for.
Obviously, someone who has suffered a fair bit of public rejection is Alex. Alex, who thought he was going fishing and then had the lovely surprise of 6 new girls walking in. Obviously, we have to remember that these new girls know exactly how popular Alex is. So it doesn't surprise me that some of them make a beeline for him. But he does seem to have some genuine chemistry with Charlie.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's, we found out that in tonight's episode he says that just hearing her voice in the background calms him, and he finds it soothing, which is quite sweet and like a really weird compliment.
It was sort of
rather than being like, you're a sort.
Yeah, I don't think I could imagine Alex saying you're a sort.
No, and I really don't want him to.
It would sound a bit like me saying you're a sort. I can't get away with it either.
You and Alex, kindred spirits.
But yeah, I actually think, you know, when he's talking about the soothing voice that Charlie has, it sounded, you know, the way it comes across is a little bit bantery, which is something we've not really seen from Alex so far. He always kind of freezes up and gets a bit nervous around the girls, and maybe finally, you know, he's just kind of cutting loose. You know, I've had so much rejection, I'm just gonna go for it.
Yeah.
And maybe this will be the one that works out for him, because he has no loyalty to any of the girls back in the main villa. Obviously, Ellie's ditched him. He counts himself as single. So
yeah, so why not?
And that's a couple I can actually get excited by.
Also, Charlie in tonight's episode says, oh, I really, because obviously she's been watching it before she goes in, and she said, oh, I really wasn't expecting Alex to be as hilarious as he is. So it does seem like the feeling's mutual, and that did, you know, sound genuine from what we've seen. So I'm excited to see how their couple grows. Come on, Alex, this is your time.
One couple who I'm not really rooting for in the way I root for Alex is Wes and Megan. Obviously, it's been a tumultuous week in this Love Island villa that has seen Wes quite spectacularly ditch Laura for Megan.
Properly muddy.
A day into this sort of fledgling relationship, they get split up into different places. And what we see tonight is Wes saying, oh, I don't fancy any of these new girls. I'm really happy with Meg. Whereas Megan is playing a very different game in the main house. Yeah,
well, she's proving to be very, very popular. So we've got 3 boys on her tail. It's Dean, Alex, and Frankie. All of the boys in the old villa actually put her in their top 3, which she was very annoyingly pleased about. But yeah, now these 3 boys are kind of fighting for her affection. I think Alex managed to pop the question about staying in a bed together first. So maybe they have a bit of a stronger connection than the rest. And yeah, one of them said, oh, we're putting all our Megs in one basket, which she enjoyed.
I have to say, I think we should add that Alex is Specsaver's Spectacle Wearer of the Year.
Yeah.
And he's very attached to those specs, isn't he? It's nice because you can sort of, when you've got 6 new boys who all look vaguely similar, you can pick them out. Alex
with the glasses.
Alex with the glasses.
Especially when they all have the same names as well.
We shall now refer to him as Alex with the glasses. But it'll be interesting to see who wins Megan over and whether she has any loyalty to Wes at all. I think not.
Because it's so fresh.
And what we have to remember is that if this mirrors last year's competition, when the houses are reunited, you could be left standing alone. So say if Megan chose to recouple with one of these 3 boys and Wes chose to recouple with Megan, Wes would be sent packing, which would make me rather delighted. I'm annoyed actually, because I really liked Wes up until the point he ditched Laura.
Yeah,
he was one of the funniest people in the house. And nowadays, when he's funny, all I can do is look at him and think, but you behaved so appallingly. Everything to me is cast in a new light, and I can't root for him the way I once did.
No, he's let us down. Also, just quickly going back to the Megan kind of popularity thing. So one of the boys that's into her is Frankie, but sadly that's the boy that Samira really fancies. And obviously, as we said, like she's not really getting any attention from the new boys. And Samira took Megan aside and said, you know, listen, I fancy Frankie, but he's just told me that he fancies you. And then Samira says, oh, you know, but look at you, you're you, I'm me, like, I understand. And I just thought, my heart just broke for her. I thought, God, back yourself, Samira.
I know, it frustrates me endlessly, especially because all these boys have seen how Megan's behaved. It clearly doesn't bother them.
No.
Maybe it's a girl thing, I don't know, but I just I want good things for Samira, and I don't want good things for Meghan. I don't think she deserves them.
No, neither. And it was, yeah, even Alex was like, oh, she's the most, good-looking girl on the planet. So I just think that's changing everyone's perception. I think people are just blinded by Meghan's beauty, essentially.
Another person who there's not really any mention of tonight is Laura. She obviously had her eye on Jack.
Jack Fowler,
semi-professional footballer Jack. We're sort of debating what that means as a profession. Can you be a semi-professional footballer in your mid-20s?
Yeah, well, what are you doing the rest of the time?
Yes.
Cracking on.
Cracking on. I'm still hoping, though, that she gets some sort of happy ending, because she's had a rough few days, and I think she's been a really classy lady in how she's handled it.
Yeah, I think the boys would be mad not to go for her. And I don't think Jack's expressed interest in anyone else as far as we know so far. So who knows, it could be Laura that's in the back of his mind.
And you've got Ellie, who's got her eyes on Charlie, socialite Charlie, who doesn't work.
Oh yeah, the Chelsea boy.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow, what a job. Socialite.
We would if we could. Or not.
A girl can dream.
Obviously, the couple who everyone across the nation has just adored from pretty much the very start of Love Island is Jack and Danny. They still seem pretty rock solid. I have my own issues with what the producers have done here. They've put Jack in another house and they have introduced his ex. Which to me feels just a bit too heavy-handed. You're taking the couple that are happy, the nice storyline, and you're trying to sort of stir it. And I get, obviously, that's reality TV, but I just thought it's a bit muggy.
Yeah, muggy is the word, and you're very much, obviously trying to drive a wedge. I think they do seem pretty solid. Unfortunately, Ellie admitted to Alex after he actually questioned her quite, seriously and relentlessly about her feelings for Jack. Ellie Jones did say, oh yeah, I still have a soft spot for him. We were seeing each other on and off for 2 years. So she is interested, and Danny's back at the original villa getting worried, not even knowing that this new Ellie's in there. However, from what we've heard from Jack, he's essentially saying, Danny's my girlfriend, I just want to be around her. I've never been away from her for this long. I mean, I think it's been about 24 hours. But it's quite sweet, and he obviously is completely blinkered and only has eyes for Danny at the moment. So I hope he holds strong with that.
I think my one fear is that there's a challenge later tonight. They keep doing this. I really don't like these challenges where they have to make a cocktail, but they have to transfer the ingredients of the cocktail via one another's mouths. It's a bit like that horrible food challenge a few weeks ago that just made me gag even watching it.
One of the courses was like spaghetti and another was soup. It was not.
And what you see in this is, I mean, we saw it in the trail last night, is Jack having to sort of snog someone else to get the quantity from their mouth to his. What I'm scared of is that they'll do what they did last year, which was take pictures of the happenings in Casa Amor and post them into the girl's house. And if Danny sees something, even I agree with you, Jack has been wonderfully loyal, and I believe that he will be. But I hope they don't really mess with Danny's head and sort of send her pictures of things that aren't quite what they first appear.
Yeah.
Because I care for Danny, and I feel like she's had a rotten time with boys in the past, and you can see that she keeps referencing it.
She
can't pull the wool over her eyes,
and she scares easily. So
Absolutely.
it's her that one of those photos would upset the most, and is most likely to be sent. So yeah, I hope that she can see past that, or he gets back to the original villa in time to properly explain it and say it was just a ridiculously gross game. Don't worry.
Yes. So that's everything we have to say about tonight, but no doubt it is going to be a dramatic few days in both villas. We will be watching avidly over the weekend. We will have updates on the happenings, and we will be back here again on Monday for another live chat. As always, do have your say in the comments box below. What do you think of the couples? Who is most likely to have their head turned? And yes, as always, we'll be back next week. Thank you.